65 or older. Don't pause a moment longer. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia today.
Colbert's got Michelle Yeoh tonight on the Emmy-nominated Late Show.
MCS! You remember us?
Mondays.
Go, go, go! You're not safe here.
We need to go now.
NCIS and NCIS Hawaii, Mondays on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
It could be raining cats and corn dogs at the UP State Fair. I'll show you when in your Escanaba 7-day regional outlook. Live from downtown Marquette, it's your 19 News.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Mitchell Reif. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, it's the first night of the UP State Fair in Escanaba. We'll show you the excitement from opening night, plus what you can see all week long. That's all that fun in Escanaba. Also this week in Escanaba, an event is offering support to healthcare workers to work through their high-stress jobs. We'll have the details on that. Plus, a housing development in Marquette has received over $1 million in federal low-income tax credits. Your 19 News at 11 starts now.
WZMQ 19 News at 11.
In your first warning weather forecast, tonight is looking a little chilly. Can we expect that to kind of continue throughout the week?
Kind of, but not really. That's not a helpful answer, I know. This evening will probably be the chilliest that we'll see this week, with those temperatures possibly down in the 40s tonight along the west interior, so along that Wisconsin border. And then we do have a cold front that could be coming in midweek, as well as some showers and thunderstorms that starts around Wednesday night into Thursday morning. Today, though, we saw a high of about 68 out at the National Weather Service. Not quite the 95-degree record, but right now we're in that 55 to 60 degree range. I've got your 7-day outlook and more coming up.
Still developing, 2 of the 3 Nigerian men facing charges related to running an international sextortion ring and accused of causing the suicide death of a Marquette teen last year appeared in federal courtroom in Grand Rapids today. Brothers Samuel and Samson Ogashi were charged in a 4-court indictment in May and extradited to Michigan yesterday. Samuel Ogashi's charges include sexual exploitation and attempted sexual exploitation of a minor resulting in death, in association with the death of 17-year-old Jordan DeMay in March of 2022. That charge carries a maximum penalty of life in prison and a minimum of 30 years if convicted. Details from the grand jury's indictment show the defendant brought hacked Instagram accounts to pose as young women to lure teens and young adults into sexual chats. The grand jury alleges the defendants engaged in this extortion and attempted extortion of more than 100 people, including minors and adults. The extradition of the third defendant, Ezekiel Robert, is still pending. We have much more on this on our website, WZMQ19.com, and on our mobile app. And a former Pennsylvania state trooper says human trafficking is a growing issue. It happens not only in our hometown, but across the nation. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Rachel Knapp spoke with him on this and how he's trying to make students more aware of this issue.
Matthew Harris, a former Pennsylvania state trooper, has previously worked with elementary and middle school students through the Character Be About It program, which trains law enforcement officers to teach kids essential character traits that help them navigate the challenges of life. And with the help of Penn State, it's now a research-based curriculum with big results. Out of the 800 students sampled in Erie, Pennsylvania, 75% of them had a better outlook or thought process of law enforcement.
Since then, it's evolved into multiple variables of besides improving perception with police, decreasing discipline referrals in the school, decreasing aggression towards classmates, improving friendship skills, the bullying component, and overall improving school climate.
He now wants to put this program's teachings towards a different use by helping students become more aware of human trafficking. Harris says human trafficking, which is a form of modern-day slavery, is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and it has no borders. It's a local and international issue. Looking at the most recent data from the National Human Trafficking Hotline, in 2021, Pennsylvania had roughly 200 cases of human trafficking identified. about 400 cases identified in New York, and nearly 300 cases in Michigan. Harris hopes if we start talking to students early enough on this issue and helping them achieve the same foundation for good character traits and not give in to peer pressure, it could save millions of lives and prevent human trafficking within our communities.
This is the same concept of making them aware of whom you're talking to on social media, what's happening in your area when you go to the mall, because there are a lot of people out there that you would never know. You don't know what you don't know. And for those that have loved ones, daughters and sons, I think this is something that you really should pay attention to and do some more research on, but it's happening right here in our neighborhood.
In Washington, D.C., Rachel Knapp reporting.
Harris says just having a mentor or a member of law enforcement talk about this with students for just a couple of minutes a day could be a game changer on this issue. And around the UP, a housing development in Marquette has received over $1 million in federal low-income tax credits. Black Rock Crossing is a proposed 50-unit development on West Ridge Street behind the old Shopco building in Marquette. The two-building complex was first proposed back in March, along with a payment in lieu of tax agreement approved by the city. The project developers, Woda Cooper Incorporated, have partnered with the Keweenaw Bay Indian community to set aside 9 units for tribal members and their families. But the CEO of the KBIC says the development won't just benefit tribal members.
What this offers is those 1 to 2 bedrooms that people can afford. It's people who are downsizing in their family size. It's our elderly. It's our college students or our working mothers or working families that need a place while going to college.
The developers are getting ready to take the next steps and want to start taking care of permits before winter, but there is no set timeline for the project at the moment. And the 2023 UP State Fair is officially open. Hundreds of families make it a yearly tradition to go and enjoy those rides and food. WZMQ's Scott Minshaw has the story of one farm who made the fair a tradition for almost a century.
Behind all the ribbon cuttings, Ferris wheels, and fried food, at the UP State Fair, there's a farmer whose family has been showing cattle here for 95 years.
It's going to lick it on you. I'm the lucky one. I'm still able to do it yet.
Willard Grundine, or Willie as he's known to just about everyone, has been coming to the fair for over 4 decades. The tradition was started by his grandfather, which was then passed down to his father, and as a kid it was passed down to Willie.
When I was 10 years old, when my dad took me up here and I had to stay with the cattle.
The youngest generation of Willie's farm is already working to make sure they reach 100 years at the fair. His granddaughter Kiara can be seen hard at work next to her grandfather, making sure everything is set.
The animals are my children. I love them.
Dairy farming is a tough industry. It's affected by inflation, climate, and plenty of factors out of a farmer's control. According to the USDA, just under 2,000 or 6% of dairy farms nationwide closed in 2022. But despite all of this, Willie and his family continue to push forward and carry on the family legacy.
I feel very honored that I'm a part of this family and part of this line.
And even as he nears 5 decades of showing his cattle at the fair, Willie doesn't see a time where he won't continue to do what he's always done.
Even if I don't have milk cows, I will bring heifers or something.
Scott Minshaw, WZMQ 19 News, Escanaba.
WZMQ is the official sponsor for the UP State Fair and will continue to provide coverage of everything that there is to see throughout the rest of the week. And an Escanaba Escanaba shop has officially relocated to downtown. Jen's Gems by Peach has moved from its former warehouse to a new facility on Ludington Street. The owner is excited to breathe new life into the building with a variety of home goods, decor, jewelry, toys, and gifts. He also hopes to provide customers with an alternative to the major retail chains.
He's on a budget these days to save money, and being able to offer great products at affordable prices is definitely something that's meaningful to my heart. The location is awesome, and we're happy to be here as a great asset to downtown Escanaba.
Jen's Gems by Peach will be open daily from 9 to 5, although hours are limited this week due to the UP State Fair. The owner will continue to host weekly shopping shows on the Jen's Gems Facebook page. Also this week in Escanaba, an event is offering support to healthcare workers for one of the most difficult parts of their job. UP Health System Hospice will be hosting Caring Connections on Thursday at Bay College. Caring Connections is a group where healthcare professionals can work through the grief they often experience in their high-stress jobs. UP Health System says it can be challenging to express such emotions to people outside the healthcare field.
Go from one room where we're dealing with severe grief and loss, someone's dying, someone's really sick, to the next room where it's joy and someone's giving birth. That level of emotional regulation is really difficult. We just want to be there to create a space for everyone to talk about and create those caring connections.
Caring Connections will be held at the University Center at 10:30 a.m. and 3:30 p.m. UP Health System hopes to make it a monthly event. And trail exploring in the UP will be more accessible this weekend. The DNR is hosting another ORV-free weekend. August 19th through the 20th, residents and out-of-state visitors can legally ride 4,000 miles of DNR-designated trails without an ORV license or trail permit. All safety rules still apply, and you must supply your own ORV. And trail coordinators say they hope this attracts more people to buy trail permits down the line and ultimately lead to more connected trails throughout the UP.
An interconnected system in the West UP, the East UP is growing, Central UP is growing, and we're working to connect those trails. And so in years to come, we hope to have a interconnected ORV trail system that'll bring people from anywhere from the Sioux to Ironwood and be able to connect all over.
You can find more information about that on our website or mobile app WZMQ 19. And in Dickinson County, the Iron Mountain Half Marathon is just a few weeks away, and a new volunteer group is getting ready to serve. WZMQ's Iron Mountain Bureau reporter Amy Doyle caught up with some of the volunteers.
The Kingsford High School tennis team has announced they'll be volunteering to run a water station for this year's half marathon. I talked to some of the volunteers, and they're excited to set down their rackets and bond while they give back.
I talked to 4 of the 22 players who will be helping out, and they're looking forward to the experience.
Just us as a team, I think that we'd just like to spend more time with each other because our season is pretty short.
I think it'll be fun to watch the people run by and stuff. I'm looking forward to seeing all the runners put in their hard work, and I'm excited to hand out the waters and cheer everybody on.
At least one of the players has been volunteering with the half marathon for the past 2 years. They understand they'll be learning more about their own sport by watching the marathoners' dedication pay off.
I thought it was a great way to give back to the community, and if people are coming out here to run, I thought it was a great way to show my support.
The team has been feeling inspired by the races, and they've been hitting the track for some extra conditioning at practices.
I think it's definitely good that as a team we're watching people work really hard with running, because I was the one who decided for us to run the track for practice, because it's more team bonding, and it does condition us for the tennis season.
Their first match is this Thursday, where they'll match up with West Iron School District.
Whatever happens on the tennis court, the team will be right down here by the system's control stage, cheering on the runners for the big finish. Amy Doyle, WZMQ 19 News, Iron Mountain.
And the new pickup location for runners' packets will be at Blackstone Pizza this year. The races will kick off at 9 a.m. Central on September 23rd. And the designer of the half marathon's t-shirt, ink, design, and apparel is preparing to print those shirts. This year, the race board is engaging the talents of local students from the Dickinson Iron Tech Center. Paige Sabota's design was selected by the running community in a vote on social media as the graphic artist for the new t-shirts. Sabota says she drew inspiration from the natural elements surrounding her city.
Decided to do the line of trees, and I had an idea to make them shorter and then get longer with the 5 mile, and on. Then I ended up liking it better with the trees all the same size.
Sabota will attend Bay College this fall, and she's interested in becoming a chiropractor, but she says that she plans on keeping art and design in her wheelhouse. Your first warning weather forecast is coming up after the break, as well as details as wildfires continue to damage the state of Hawaii. And later, hear from investigators just after pilot and crew members ejected from a plane crash during this weekend's air show. We're back in 2 minutes.
19 News is brought to you by Kirkish Furniture. The wait is over. England Furniture's quick shipping is back at Kirkish Furniture. Choose your style and fabric and receive your furniture in as little as 30 days. Browse our in-stock selection or let our staff help you customize the perfect sofa or chair. Plus, 1 year free financing and free delivery.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor. That's an outright lie.
The Emmy-nominated Late Show with Stephen Colbert.
Come at me, GOP. Come on.
Weeknights on CBS.
Summer won't last forever, but during Toyota's national sales event, you can make memories that will.
Come on. There you go.
Whoa.
Where's my mom? Just be in the moment.
Make some memories in a stylish new Corolla, versatile Corolla Cross or electrified Corolla Hybrid, and get APR financing as low as 3.99% plus 2 years no-cost maintenance.
Toyota, let's go places. There's nothing like the feeling you get being outdoors. The UP Ice Fishing and Hunting Expo has everything you need to be ready. The expo returns to the UP State Fairgrounds Ruth Butler Building. Inside, discover great sponsors with everything from bait to rods and reels. Mark it down now on your calendar, November 3rd through the 5th at the UP State Fairgrounds. The UP Ice Fishing and Hunting Expo, brought to you by the Daily Press and WZMQ 19 News.
When the sun's out.
Things that get us excited?
Sunscreen.
Who gets excited about sunscreen? Give me that sunscreen! Woo!
The fun's out.
Oh, give me that SPF 30, SPF 50, SPF 70!
On Pictionary.
Pictionary, weekdays at 7 on WZMQ CBS.
I'm Gail King with CBS Mornings. We're here for you in the Upper Peninsula. This is now home for CBS WZMQ 19.
Now, WZMQ 19 News First Warning Weather with Ariane Stasek.
Well, we're already seeing some low 50s tonight. Ironwood with 52, some rain showers possible over there. Other than that, mostly clear for the central and north portions, but a little bit cloudier over here in Manistee, Newberry, and Menominee. But those temperatures could get even chillier this evening. Taking a look here at the 3-day outlook, Wednesday, we're going to expect some hot temps coming up. 75 to about 85, though, here on Tuesday with warm sunshine, and then breezy conditions as well on our Wednesday. And a heads up, Lake Michigan could see some wicked waves starting on Wednesday, even into Thursday, maybe up to 8 feet. Okay, heat index, like I mentioned, we could see about 84 here on Wednesday, and then we'll drop back down to about 72 on Thursday, and just a little bit warmer there on Friday. Taking a look at the gusts, so on Wednesday morning, we can expect things to be fairly normal, but then around noon, we'll see some 29, 25 mile-an-hour winds pushing through before we can see some 33-mile-an-hour gusts coming from the south there by 5 p.m. and things eventually slowing down, but it's going to be breezy out there. Okay, so showers mostly and thunderstorms mostly over Lake Michigan, as you just saw the past couple of hours, but again, we've got some scattered showers along Wisconsin's border and over here in the eastern portion of the UP, but at the moment, the radar is showing very clear conditions there. And then we'll have some clouds clearing out in the south, but other than that, most of us fairly clear this evening. Maybe a scattered shower there in Ontonagon County in the early hours, but other than that, it should be fairly clear until 1 a.m. on Wednesday, when we see maybe some showers passing through even over to Elgin County. And then a nice day for the most part till 10 p.m. Whoo, look at this belt of thunderstorms starting to push in there on that Wednesday night. So showers could be very likely on Thursday as well. Tonight, though, like I said, those lows in the 40s possible, like Iron River 45, Ironwood 46, and Lance with about 49. Everybody else just a smidge warmer in the 50s. Looking ahead to that UP State Fair in Escanaba on Tuesday, which apparently is the sample day discount. So head over there if you like fair food with a high of 77, and again, that abundant sunshine going on in Esky. All right, tomorrow, everybody else a little bit warmer as well. 74 here in Marquette, 73 in Munising, but you can see some 80-degree temperatures there in Iron River. Our 7-day outlook outlook for Marquette. We'll have warm sunshine here on Tuesday, warmer on Wednesday, like we just talked about, partly sunny skies, and then likely showers and thunderstorms on Thursday. That's the day. We'll dry out there on Friday, and then maybe getting toasty this weekend for the cars on 3rd Street, which I'm very much looking forward to.
Thank you so much, Ariane. And the death toll has risen to 99 from the wildfires that have ravaged Hawaii last week. While the recovery efforts do continue, the focus is shifting towards that recovery. Jeffrey Nugent has the latest from Maui.
Soldiers are combing through the burned out areas of Lahaina searching for victims. The death toll is expected to rise as they make their way through the scorched rubble. At least 1,300 are still unaccounted for.
They will find 10 to 20 people per day probably until they finish. It's hard to recognize anybody, but they're able to determine if someone did perish.
Survivors are still processing their trauma as they contemplate rebuilding their lives.
It went from blue skies to gray to black. And all we seen was embers from fire that we had no idea what's going on. There was no siren, nothing.
There were warning signs before the fire as 80-mile-per-hour winds lashed power lines, but officials did not shut off the power or stage fire crews before the flames tore through Lahaina as fast as a mile a minute. More than 4,000 people are in need of housing. Some evacuees are staying at this church where donations are pouring in to help them get back on their feet.
To get the essential needs out to the people who really need it, we are working on a coordinated effort.
Longtime resident Fleetwood Mac founder Mick Fleetwood lost his restaurant here.
Selfishly, I haven't lost a family member. I didn't lose my house. It could have happened, but it didn't happen. So you immediately going like, I'm really lucky. Now what the hell can I do?
He told CBS News he's committed to helping to preserve and rebuild Maui. Officials say that process will cost billions and take years.
Hawaii's governor says a comprehensive review is underway to determine why the state siren system had failed. And officials from the National Transportation Safety Board were in Lower Michigan today after a pilot and crew member ejected from a plane that crashed during an air show Sunday. Officials with the Wayne County Airport Authority say the MiG-23 demonstration plane crashed during the Thunder over Michigan air show. The Soviet fighter plane crashed into a parking lot and struck unoccupied vehicles at a nearby apartment complex in Belleville. The NTSB senior air safety investigator said the pilot suffered serious but not life-threatening injuries, and the crew member has minor injuries. No injuries were reported on the ground at the apartments or the air show.
The information I have from the FAA is that the pilots, like I said, they declared an emergency. They had some engine loss of power issues, and were not able to correct that and elected to eject from the airplane.
The NTSB says the EPA is also looking into any potential fuel contamination at the crash site. And coming up after the break, how romance scams still remain a popular way to exploit victims. Plus how scientists in Canada are finding ways to help people acquire immunity from COVID-19. We're back in 2.
When you put on a product this nice, you want to sing it from the rooftops. You know my roof's good looking, will last the rest of your life. Each day I go to work thinking, you know we're doing this right. Buy a roof for me and I think you'll see you'll be happy as a gherkin. 'Cause we do it right and we're really polite. Take it from me, Dan Perkins. You try rhyming something with Perkins.
Here's your WZMQ CBS This is Home Community Calendar.
19 News was recently honored with the 2022 Best Newscast Award from the Michigan Association of Broadcasters. It motivates us to work even harder to be your voice in the community. 19 News is all about sharing local activities and events, plus information that leads to understanding, support, and unity. That's the mission of the 19 News team, and we thank you for watching.
19 News, connected to our community. Weeknights on WZMQ 19. You're watching the award-winning WZMQ 19 News, live and local with Sarah Blakely.
Romance scams remain a popular way for criminals to exploit unsuspecting victims. Christine Lazar talked to a reformed scam artist to find out how these scams actually happen.
Nicole Hayden is a single mom who was working long days as a nurse in 2021 when she got a private message on social media.
And I opened it up and he just started talking, saying hi, asking me, where I lived, what I did, basic, normal conversation.
The conversation took off and Nicole was smitten until her new online beau eventually demanded money and threatened to blackmail her if she didn't pay up. That's when Nicole realized it was all a scam.
You feel really disappointed.
The Federal Trade Commission says Americans lost $1.3 billion in romance scams in 2022 alone. To find out how these cons worked, I talked to a former scam artist from Nigeria who asked us not to reveal his name. What would you tell these women? How did you get them to give you money?
I make them fall in love, I make them laugh, I do things they like.
He created fake social media profiles using the pictures and details of other men, including American soldiers. His main targets were middle-aged, divorced women. Once they trusted him, he would make up a pretend crisis and ask for money. But he eventually changed his ways after a major payday.
She gave me over $20,000, and at some point she became sick, she became depressed. I felt this kind of guilty conscience,
He stopped scamming and now works for the other side and a website called Social Catfish. For a fee, the company uses reverse search technology to help online daters investigate a potential suitor if fraud is suspected.
He also says the best way to protect yourself is to never engage with someone who won't video chat or meet in person. And if anyone asks you for money online, chances are their intentions are not sincere.
In health news, a new study in Canada shows widespread immunity to the COVID-19 virus. Scientists in Canada found the spread of the Omicron variant helped many people acquire immunity to SARS-CoV-2, the virus that causes COVID-19. Data published in the Canadian Medical Association Journal shows that 75% of the population had COVID antibodies by March 20 or 23. From a mixture of vaccination and exposure, but they say antibody levels may diminish over time. Surgery could dramatically reduce alcohol use for chronic heavy drinkers. In a study published in the journal Nature Medicine, researchers implanted gene therapy in the brains of monkeys. They say it effectively reset the monkeys' dopamine reward system and reduced alcohol consumption by more than 90%. The approach could potentially be used for the most severe human cases of alcohol use disorder. And after the break, we'll have one last look at your weather forecast. Plus, over the weekend, the excitement from the 21st Buzz the Gut car show. We're back in 2 minutes.
Superior Collision is seeking a certified auto body technician for full-time employment. Qualified candidates can call or apply in person, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Monday through Friday.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor. That's an outright lie.
The Emmy-nominated Late Show with Stephen Colbert.
Come at me, GOP. Come on.
Weeknights on CBS.
We roll 365 days a year, transporting you cleanly and comfortably. Welcome to MarkTran. Safe, efficient, and friendly service. Passengers 60 and older ride free every Wednesday. K through 12th grade students and military ride for half fare every day. MarkTran keeps you moving. The Marquette County Transit Authority.
Are you behind on your mortgage? Is the bank threatening to take your home? Are you considering trying to get a loan modification on your own? Did you know that less than 5% of people who tried on their own actually got a modification? At the Mortgage Modification Helpline, we know the rules and regulations banks don't want you to know about, and we've helped thousands of people stay in their homes. So call the Mortgage Modification Helpline today.
Please call 800-363-5958.
Attention people with Medicare and anyone turning 65. If you have original Medicare, you may be able to get a Medicare Advantage plan with additional benefits. Medicare Advantage plans may include vision coverage, wellness visits, gym membership, meal delivery, and hearing coverage with affordable costs and copay. The call is free. You may even find plans with $0 monthly premiums or $0 copays on certain services or $0 deductibles. Call 800-965-7893 and let Best Medcare do the work for you.
I'm Nora O'Donnell, and this is the new home for CBS News in the Upper Peninsula. We'll be looking for you right here on WZMQ 19.
Well, our Tuesday is definitely going to be warmer than what we saw today. Those temperatures 75 to about 80, maybe even close to 85. Winds primarily coming out of the west. We'll see those gust on up, though, on Wednesday, but mostly sunny skies tomorrow. Slim chance of rain over there in the Keweenaw. 7-day outlook for Escanaba with that UP State Fair going on all week. We've got temperatures in the 70s, maybe even up to 80. Possible chance of showers and thunderstorms coming on Thursday, but then we'll be dry on Friday as well. Taking a look at Saturday, toasty sunshine there as well, and then Sunday too. Monday, we'll be up to about 84 degrees. Now, I got to give a shout out to our very own Amy Doyle, who was on a whole bunch of adventures this weekend, apparently heading over to the Porcupine Mountains. I don't know if you've ever been out there, but this is apparently the Lake of the Clouds. I have yet to go. Mitchell, have you been over that way?
Absolutely not. No, I have not. It looks beautiful there. Lastly, tonight, over 200 cars made the trip to the Ishpeming over the weekend for the Buzz the Gut car show. The car show's 21st year had no lack of variety with muscle cars, trucks, and even motorcycles on display. But that is all the time we have for tonight on our WZMQ 19 News. We will have more coverage throughout the week on the UP State Fair. And that's all the time we have for tonight. We will see you right back here tomorrow at 6/5 Central.
This is Sherry and Randy Erickson buying diamonds in Antwerp, Belgium. Their reputation for demanding only the best is why they're known here as Le Difficile, or the picky one.
Do we have a deal? Mazal?
Mazal. I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Le Difficile.